Perfect. Yep.
You got lucky.
Just hit record.
Hello all.
It's good.
All right, I'll bring this meeting in order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mrs. Meyer. Probably could have went into the library. A little full.
All right, I'll start with the approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting on February 8th, 2021.
Move to approve the minutes.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the board meeting on February 8th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, approval of the general fund vouchers 78,420 through 78,487 and wire transfers 202-10342 through 202-10387.
Move to approve. Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded to approve the general fund vouchers and wire transfers. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Next, public comments on the agenda items. Anything?
Anybody? Nothing on it?
Okay, next, spotlight on education, music, and art happenings.
Okay, we have two things on Spotlight on Ed. The first is music and art happenings. So we have the whole music and art crew in here. So do you want to come up or do you want me to quit?
That's fine.
Or just Holly?
You guys want to just tell me to click and I'll
Is
click?
she gonna talk about music? We can try.
I'm with them enough. I know what's going on in the music classroom. All right. During our PLC time, we have put together our first ever newsletter. And just because this year it really just sparked that we don't have the concerts, we don't have the art shows or the competitions going on, and the public's not knowing what we're doing in our classroom. And it kind of, and my kids are creating some awesome things. They're doing some awesome things in the music classroom, so we really just want to get the word out there. And we thought it turned out really, really well, and we want to do this more often. We'll see if we have enough time once everything starts to pick up again next year, if we have enough time to stick with this. So just kind of a quick glimpse at what's going on in the classroom. Our adorable little kindergartners, believe it or not, I bring out paint with them, and they are learning to color mix. So we're trying this year without shared paint shirts as well, and we haven't had any disasters yet. These turned into, what they do is they cut them out and they turn them into birds. So they learn the order of the color wheel as well. So they place the birds in the correct order here. So that is, there we go. First graders, we also learned color mixing, and they turn their color wheels into rainy day umbrellas. Second grade, we talked about Georgia O'Keeffe and her skulls. So we did some printmaking for the background and learned how to work with guided drawing and how to draw cow skulls. Third graders, right, they are working on color mixing with watercolor paints, and so we are working with sea turtles and how to get the correct color of the sea turtle shells using watercolor paints. fourth grade, to my surprise, they absolutely loved this project. It was tessellations, so they were given little templates, and they had to figure out, without me telling them, how the pieces all fit together, like kind of like a puzzle. Sometimes they flipped, sometimes they slid together, sometimes they had to actually rotate them, but they really seemed to enjoy tessellations. Clay castles. I will admit I'm a horrible teacher because I have broken one student's clay project. Yikes, it rolled off the cart just the other day after it was fired, and I have been spending all week gluing every little piece back together for this child. And there's one little sliver that is missing, and I just feel horrible. So that poor kid's going to have the option to redo it if he wants to, but they better appreciate all the time I spent gluing that thing
So you
together.
should just whip another one up quick.
Right? And for making, these are mid-progress. They have not finished them, but they carved their own little stamp out of kind of a piece of rubber foam. It's like a big eraser. And then they painted their watercolor background and stamped. So most of my projects take a good month to do, since I see them once a week, because there's multiple steps to each project. So that's through 6th grade. I do try every week, or not every week, every month, to put together, select 5 to 10. I have 10 of these frames hanging up in the hallway across from the gym. And I choose 10 artists overall, frame their artworks, and give them a certificate that's signed by both myself and Mr. Peterson. So this is the February-March masterpieces of the month. And for the elementary, and actually the high school, I take pictures of all of the students' artwork as well and put them, how do I scroll here? Go this too far. I put them all on Artsonia here. So parents, if parents give permission, parents can purchase their child's artwork on like quilt squares, mugs, bags, but I don't push it. So it's out there, they get emails. So it's kind of like a little fundraising. I get 20% of the profits, but I'm not going around knocking on doors trying to push it. It's there for those parents that want it, and some parents don't actually touch it until their kid is a senior, and then they go through and I just look at a bunch of stuff that is purchased from them. So obviously those artworks either ended up in the garbage or they're trying to create something for graduation. So it's really cool because their artwork does stay there
Forever.
well past senior year. I don't know when. I haven't seen anybody's disappear yet. So I can go back through past previous students and still find them there.
Yeah,
So-
I get
That is elementary. Do you guys want to go through elementary music right now?
Yeah,
Or
we can go super quick. Do
You want me to
start,
click?
Kristen, or you want me to? Like, we can switch if you want.
you want me to click
Sure. Sure.
or switch? I don't-
That's fine.
Okay.
So the short version of this is kindergarten has been working on musical opposites. So in this picture you can see kindergarten using pipe cleaners to make high and low sounds. So that's that and in a gist. So and
Alright.
first grade has been working on different kinds of sound stories. So we take different stories and we find multiple ways that we can use instruments to enhance or create effects and stories. And then second,
Really quick, I was just, sorry, go back. I was just going to show that that's our way we've been using our xylophones still. So we have some clear shower curtains. We've been covering up the xylophones so that we don't have to spray the spray on them. But we don't have to spray the spray on the instruments. We can just spray the shower curtains. So that's been a fun way to keep using them.
Second grade?
And then second grade has been working on form, so AD and ABA form, how music starts and how it changes. So on the left you'll see students working on instruments, and on the right it's kind of a fun activity this year with all the indoor recess. We decided to creatively use poems and movement to show AD and ABA form.
That would be fun to walk into.
Yeah.
I think we should try it here.
Yeah, there you go.
You want to go into the drums, Kristen?
Do you want to talk about you?
Oh, I'll wait.
Okay,
Okay.
you can go to third grade. Third graders just finished our unit on instrument families, the strings, woodwind, brass, and percussion. And so we watched lots of science type videos too about how each instrument makes sounds with the sound vibrations and how each family works. And then the pictures there are just from some games that we played to review all of our families. I would tape the instruments to their back or the names of the instrument to their back, and they had to ask questions to their partner about how to figure out which family it was. And we had an instrument family snowball fight too. That was some of the ones I wrote names of instruments on paper, and we crumbled them up and threw them all around the room, and then they had to sort them into the baskets for which family they were. Mr. V took part in that. The kids were having too much fun throwing snowballs at Mr. V, but that was a fun one. I did have to answer for the first time this year when I said, I'm taping an instrument to your back. They said, with my shirt on? I said, yeah. So that was a new one this year. And then fourth graders, this kind of segues with what Mrs. Wallace, you want to talk about the drums really fast? So, okay. Mrs. Wallace wrote a grant this year, and we got a new set of these drums. They're called tubanos, and we got 16 of them. So we are pretty excited for these. The fourth graders were loving. We played them a lot, learning about different high and low sounds, and they were writing their own patterns and composing using the drums. It was really fun to see them all kind of spread out around the room and working. I looked some of the pictures, like they got a pencil in one hand and they're hitting the drums with the other hand, writing, and so that was really cool for them. And they're getting ready to start recorders too, so we're kind of excited about that. And then fifth and sixth grade, I don't have any pictures of that, but they've been spending a lot of time describing music, listening. You know, we worked really hard on not just listening to a song and be like, well, I like it, it's good, that sounds cool. So we learned a lot of terminology and listening to lots of different genres of music and describing them that way.
Band?
Oh, fifth, okay. So at the beginning of the year, we separated. Normally, fifth and sixth grade band has been one collective unit, but in the last couple of years, that number's been around 50 kids, and so we decided to separate that so that we could try to separate the kids, and then it also works better that we can teach fifth graders how to play their instrument while also teaching sixth graders how to continue on their instrument. So it's been working pretty well. But right now, fifth grade band's been playing in the library, so they have a lot of distractions in there right now. So we're learning how to overcome that still. But they're still just learning how to play in both of the groups, and hopefully possibly doing a concert at the end of the year. So they've been working really hard on that music as well. So, yeah.
All right, Mrs. Wallace.
Yeah.
So last fall, I wrote a grant to the St. Croix Valley Foundation. This is one of 16 drums that we received, as Mrs. Berg said. We were really happy to receive full funding, so that was wonderful.
All different sizes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Almost all the grade levels have been able to play on these this year, which has also been really nice. We've used ideas that we've worked on in class, like Mrs. Berg said, high and low, fast and slow, to teach concepts on the drum. I teach kindergarten, first grade, and second grade music, so I use iconic notation quite a bit, which is using pictures to teach. So for example, when the kids first saw the drums, to help them understand how to play, I would show an image on the board, for example, an elephant, and I would say and play elephant, and then the kids would echo that back. Or alligator, and the kids would echo that back as well. So long story short, when those images are tied together, they make patterns which turn into a song. So I would have much preferred to have children demonstrate for you today. But I would be more than happy to provide a student demonstration next year or a video if you would like.
Cool.
Thank you.
We can go super fast through the high school
Yep.
junior high one too. We don't need to open all the links and stuff. You can show some of your pictures, Holly, but for band and choir, we can go
Okay.
fast.
That's because I'm a department of one, so I have all the classes. Pottery kids, I have a full class. I have about 20 kids in my pottery class this semester, and they are just cranking out some amazing projects. And then they'll see something like, hey, can we do fairy gardens? I'm like, definitely, let's do those. So right now, or they just completed decorative surfaces, so we worked on underglazes and sgraffito techniques, so where they coat the whole entire bowl with one color and they scratch out their design. So those turned out really, really cool as well. My painting class, we are moving on to doing landscape paintings here shortly. So they experimented with watercolor techniques, tempera paint, and acrylic paint techniques, where I want them to be able to choose their own paint that they really love, their own technique, and be able to create some of, like, a whole bunch of new textures in their own paintings. Advanced art kids, I have 5 of them this year. So they have to kind of go with me or go through and talk with me about what projects they want to work on. And their projects, since they are advanced art, that means that they have taken several art classes already. So it's more of an independent art, but their projects are, they have to take at least 4 weeks on them, which means if they get it done in a week's time, then there's more of, okay, what else can we add to this? What else can you do? Can we make it part of a story? Can we make it part of a set? And 3 of these individuals are actually wanted to do VAC this year. And VAC was not in person. It's my Visual Arts Classic Art Competition. There's no chance on moving on to state. It's a one and done, and this is what I told them. I go, it's all virtual. It's you do your online, you upload your pictures online. Judges will judge it based off of your pictures that you submit, and they have to create an artist statement along with that. They have to study artists for the quiz bowl, and then they will give. We're going to be here in school, since there's only 5 students doing this, but it's all virtual, so they're going to be given a new prompt and 2.5 hours to create this prompt, take a picture, upload it, and they wanted to do it. I told them it was going to be a little bit different because they don't get that, hey, we get to go to state feeling afterwards, but more power to them. They really enjoyed it, and we're excited. We're excited to spend an all-day Saturday doing art projects, but it will be fun. 8th graders, they too are working on color mixing, but this time they are adding tints and shades, so they are creating a mandala color wheel. And my folk art class, last year was my first year that I offered it, so a lot of students are still kind of questioning what my folk art class is, and we are learning about different arts of different cultures. So right now they were working on Aboriginal dot paintings, and then we moved on to Chinese dragons, and we'll talk about batiks and African mask making. So they are doing painting and sculpture all in the same class, but art of different cultures. Once again, my Artstonia site is on there, but then at the high school level, my student spotlight, Hannah Munson, she is a senior this year. She has partaken in VAC all 4 years, and has been in pottery, painting, several advanced art classes, and she absolutely, even though she did this beautiful watercolor portrait, her specialty area is really ceramics and sculpture. This girl, you give her anything and say, hey, I want you to sculpt this, and she can do it. She's got an eye for sculpture, which is absolutely amazing. So I do want to keep up with the student spotlight in the art program as well, because I feel like those kids really need a place to shine sometime. All right.
Yeah.
Music.
You don't have to click on those.
Okay.
Both junior high and senior high choir and bands are getting excited. We're actually going to have a concert next week. We're going to kind of change things up a little bit. You know, the choir's going to be in the bleachers so that we can be nice and spread out, and taking from what the sports have done with taking surveys from parents about, who can come and have the attendance taken and stuff, but we're really excited to actually get to perform for people for the first time since last Christmas. So we're really excited to get in front of people again. I did have, you want to click the link at the bottom, Holly?
Okay.
I wrote a grant as well to the St. Croix Valley Foundation and got a new electronic keyboard. We're really excited. It is updated technology on it. It can has the USB port. The old one I was using had a floppy disk, so you could record onto the floppy disk, but then you can't put the floppy disk in. So this has USB. I can record onto that and put it into the computer and upload it for practice tracks for kids. So we're really excited about the new piano as well. You heard anything else?
Varsity letter?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
we
I
should
could
show that.
Yeah. So, Mr. Larson used to do this back, I'm not sure how long, but
It's been a while.
when I first started here, there was a whole drawer full of these varsity music letters, and I thought, hey, it might as well be the time, especially with this group of seniors. They've dedicated the
Great
last
group.
4 years to, they're the ones that you always see at pep bands, they're always the ones at marching band, they're always in, that's what this kind of award's supposed to dedicate. It's supposed to be to those kids that are here every night doing pep band, doing all those extracurriculars. So it's kind of one of these things in the future that the kids that go above and beyond earn points if you're showing up every night to marching band camp in the summer. That's added
Right.
points, and then
Jazz band,
Yep.
solo ensemble, all that
Yep.
stuff.
and hopefully by their junior year, just like athletics, you hope by your junior year you're getting your varsity letter. It's almost in that same aspect for that too. So new tradition I'm looking forward to keeping on. So.
All right, anything else? Very good. Okay.
Yeah, and so the links for these were sent to all the parents of students. So we have the 2 separate links for elementary and junior high and senior high. So we're having some good feedback. So we're looking forward to sharing it again in the future.
And I'd like to say something too. Just this pandemic in general really had potential to compromise departments like the art and the music and band. I mean, in a big way. And I feel like our district, it didn't. And the reason is the staff that we have. They've really done a nice job collaborating with admin. It was never like this, coming in and complaining and saying, what, we can't do it. It was always like there was a lot of coming in, pitching ideas. This is what we would like to do. This is our plan. And working with, from the elementary concert where we weren't allowed to have parents in to now, the art projects and, the art fairs and stuff. And then now we're finally to the point where we're, looking at exploring or having a concert for the junior high and senior high. So I really do think, hats off to the art and music and band departments for what they've done. I mean, we even got to do one. Did we do 1 or 2 sports events where you guys played? One. So we were slowly kind of getting things going, and it really is because of the these 4 individuals back there and their willingness to be flexible, think outside the box, and really just stay positive and pitch ideas rather than just saying why can't we do this or why can't we do that. It was the whole throughout from last year till now. It's continuously been. Here's an idea, what do you guys think about this? And then working with us to try to make it happen. So I know from our end, from admin, we really appreciate the art, music, and band department, during this last year and stretch. And I think the individuals that benefited the most have been our kids. At the elementary all the way to high school have benefited the most throughout this because of their positivity, flexibility, and willingness to do really whatever it takes to make sure that we can have kids access the curriculum in those departments. So thank you for not only coming in here and presenting everything, but just what you guys have been doing over the last year. So thank you. I don't know if you guys had any questions or...
I have to say, Mrs. Wallace, it's nice to meet you.
Oh,
We've not seen you yet. We hear your husband's voice.
Nice to meet you.
So welcome and great job.
Yeah, thank you guys. All right.
Appreciate you guys coming in, so thank you.
Yep, if you guys want to sneak out and get home to the families, feel free to. We'll continue on with our
We are
meeting.
kid-free right now?
Yeah.
Oh, so
This is a vacation.
All right, we'll move on to our next item of business then, the Herb Cole recipients.
Okay, I'm going to let Mr. Gillis share the information on this. We had 2 individuals that were recipients of the Cole Award winner.
Yeah, we had a great year with the Cole Foundation, we had 2 award winners this year. Our first ever staff member, Mr. Crawford, has been teaching 15 years, 13 here in Clear Lake. I know it's quite an extensive application process to get the Cole Teaching Fellowship Award. So congratulations to Mr. Crawford. And then our very own senior Shane Larson, son of Kyle and Shannon, that was at the last board meeting as our valedictorian. He also got a Cole Award, and he's going to be, it's based on involvement in clubs and athletics and academics, and it's a very long process for a student as well. He's going to be attending UW Platteville and engineering physics. So congratulations to both Mr. Crawford and Shane Larson.
Yeah, no small feat. The teacher award is $6,000, and then the student award is $10,000. So pretty neat for both those individuals. So congratulations to both those 2 individuals for winning that.
Okay, we'll move on to our next item of business is review of the COVID-19 response.
Okay, just a couple things we wanted to just share. I feel like we keep opening things up, and we're I know it's been nice to have. We haven't had as many cases. We haven't had as many close contacts or excluding kids from the district. It's really been going really well. Knock on wood. So we continue to look at what we can do to open things up. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna do the junior and senior high concerts in a week or 2. We're looking at doing a prom on April 24th. The FFA group is planning for a banquet, all with restrictions and limited capacity. The concerts we're reflecting similar to what we did with the sports as far as the number of people in the gym. Anywhere from 2 to 4 people, depending on what we're talking about as far as how many people are in the gym. And then we've been planning we're doing a modified Earth Day as well. We're not going to be doing what we have done in the past where we have everybody out and we're transporting people all around the community. It's going to be internal, and it's going to be a lot smaller scale, and only a partial, only a small section during the day that we're going to dedicate it. But we don't want to lose that. We want to have something in place just because of what Earth Day represents to the Clear Lake district. So those are the 3 kind of main things I wanted to touch on. Did I miss anything? No. Okay.
Okay, then we'll move on to the introduction of the 2021 valedictorian and salutatorian.
Okay, so last meeting we were able to recognize Shane Larson as our valedictorian. Kira Pickard wasn't able to join us because she had a basketball game to attend to, but so our salutatorian this year is Kira Pickard. Kira is the daughter of Jessica and Mark and has a GPA of 4.066, which is extremely impressive. But I don't think that's her most impressive trait. I just think she's just a neat kid. She represents the district extremely well in everything she does, and she's a really neat kid. So wanted to recognize her as our salutatorian and congratulate her and her parents, because I know everyone was involved in that. But also wanted Kira just to share. Can you share a little bit with us what your plans are for the future?
Yeah, so I plan on attending Winona State next fall to major in nursing, and then after that I will have to take another test to become a certified obstetric nurse. So that's my plan.
Very cool. Well, congratulations.
Well, I think
Been
that
well
deserves
deserved.
a hand, huh?
Yeah.
Good job. So then we'll move on then to the approval of resolution authorizing the redemption of certain of the taxable general obligation refunding bonds, October 5th, 2020.
I verified with Baird that wasn't a misprint either, because it does read funny, but that's how they wanted it to write on there. So that is with the refinancing, the district is estimated to save approximately $89,000 over the full duration of the bonds that you guys approved. So what this is the district has funds available from levying additional amounts for the debt in order to stabilize the levy. So the resolution is authorizing the prepayment of debt in the amount of $365,000. So it's authorizing us to prepay that as part of that refinancing process that you guys did earlier. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
I move to approve the resolution.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. The next item of business is the approval of the 2021-2022 insurance renewal.
So I had the EMC renewal proposal on there for you guys to look at. And the proposal is for the policy period of March 1st, 2021 through March 1st, 2022.
And to approve?
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the 21-22 insurance renewal. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item of business, resignations.
Yep. We have a couple of resignations. First, we have the letters of resignation are in here. We have Michelle Wire in the food service department. Worked for the district for 7 years. She took a job elsewhere. Then we have Mr. Kent Hughes, who's the ELA teacher. He's decided to retire. Worked for the district for 24 years. And then we have Nick Gillis, high school principal, has worked for the district for 6 years and has took a job closer to home in the district near his house. So, I'd like to thank all three individuals for their time and years served in the Clear Lake District. We're going to miss all three of them. And then I don't know if Mr. Gillis, if you wanted to read yours.
Sure. Dear Dr. Ernst and members of the Clear Lake School Board, I'm writing this letter to submit my pending resignation as principal of Clear Lake High School. This resignation is contingent upon my contract and board approved with the school district of Durand. I'm very thankful to have had the opportunity to be part of the Clear Lake educational team. It's been an honor to be part of this district. The staff at Clear Lake Junior Senior High are an amazing group of professionals to work with and deeply care for the kids who walk through our doors every morning. I'm a better educator for the time that I've been able to spend with them. I can truly say I love my job. Serving as part of our district admin team has provided many opportunities for my personal and professional growth. Dr. Ernst and Mr. Peterson are both respected professionals, wonderful co-workers, and now my close friends. I've enjoyed several years of working with a very supportive and student-focused admin team. I also sincerely appreciate how the school board has come together and developed themselves as leaders in our district. A lot has changed since my very first school board meeting. And it's been a pleasure working with such caring people. I'm asking that you approve my resignation contingent upon my receipt of the contract from the school district of Durand. As I move on to new opportunities, experiences, and challenges, I wish you all the very best in Clear Lake.
Well, I don't think that, you know what?
What happens if we don't approve it?
Good thinking, Ryan. Yeah, these are three quality people that we've had, and, you know, it's sad to see them go, but it's fun to see friends taking steps towards their things that the good Lord's got them to do. So, with that being said, thank you. We'll move on to our next item of business, I guess, the review of...
Do we need to vote?
Oh, we need to
Yeah.
approve too, don't we?
I move to approve.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the resignations. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item of business is the review of principal hire timeline.
So just wanted to share with you guys kind of where we're at. I know I shared with you in an email that Mr. Gillis would be resigning. So we posted the position on February 22nd. Formed committee, interview committee to go through the interview process and the hiring process. The posting will close on the 12th of March, and then we're looking to do interviews on March 22nd, 23rd, the evenings of March 22nd and 23rd, just because of the amount of individuals that are going to be on the committee. I wouldn't be able to have enough support during the day, so we're going to have to do evening interviews. So that's the game plan, to do the interviews on the 22nd and 23rd, and then hopefully be done with the interview process and have a selection, have someone selected for to seek board approval on the April 12th meeting.
Looks good.
Any questions? No? Okay.
Okay. Next item of business then is the review of the 2021-2022 district calendar.
Okay. So I just wanted to share with you guys that the calendar committee has been meeting. It's been a unique year, obviously, for obvious reasons. But the district calendar, from my very first year, number of people have been asking about, why doesn't Clear Lake explore the option of a spring break? So this year, I decided to take it to the calendar committee and really just kind of put that conversation to bed. Either we're going to do it or we're not going to do it. And so we talked through it at the calendar committee, at the committee level. Then we surveyed the staff internally just to see, what the pulse was at the staff level. We had just over about 60% are in favor of the spring break. So then we met again with the committee, decided that the next best step would be to survey the families and see where the families are at, if that's something that the families want, what the pulse of the actual stakeholders, overall stakeholders want or don't want. And from there, then we'll meet again as a committee and kind of decide from there. This year, I know we can't base everything off of this year, but this year has been more requests, and we've seen more students and families take vacations than any other year. So it kind of it's aligned with what's going on this year. And I don't know if it's just because everyone's sick of everything, or because it's cheap to travel right now, or a combo of both, or if it's just coincidence, which I don't think it's coincidence. But so that's where we're at as far as the spring break option. With the spring break, if we did do it, we would have to, but we talked about kind of different options, because it's not just as easy as saying yes or no. It impacts a lot of different people, not just the families, but internally and contractually, there's multiple groups within our district that it would impact: the teaching staff, the support staff, and then how that plays out contractually. So, and then you also have instructional minutes and what we have to abide by from the DPI side of things. So, looked at, if we did do it, we'd add a couple minutes at the beginning of the school day, which would in turn decrease the amount of contact days by 2, because we'd have to shift some of our vacation days that are either in April, one in February, kind of consolidate those into the March time frame, and then look at doing 2 additional in-service days to make sure that the teachers still have their 188-day contract. Then with the support staff side of things, we don't want the support staff to lose out on contract days if this does take place. So during two of the in-service days, then we would pull our support staff in most likely, and do the training that we do during the school year, and pull them from not instructional time, but time with students, away from doing some of that training we would do during those days. So, but again, we're not quite at that point yet as far as a yes or a no. I sent the survey out this afternoon, right at the end of the school day, and sent it out to families. So we'll look at what those responses come back at, and then kind of make a decision based on all of the variables that are at play. Any questions with the school calendar or a spring break option? No? Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ernst.
Yep.
Next item of business is the review of the upcoming election.
Okay, so April 6th is the election. We have Nettie Grote and Christy Kobernick are both on the ballot this year, and then which means those 2 individuals won't be able to be on the canvassing committee, which will be the Friday after the 6th, which would be April 9th. So we'll need one board member as part of the canvassing committee to tally all the numbers and see what we have.
I could do that.
Okay.
Thanks, Skip. Okay, next item of business then would be the review of the canvas committee.
Oh, and I guess I kind of hit that as well, so it'll be April 9th, and Skip will join us.
Okay. Then, the next item of business are the superintendent notes. Mr. Ernst.
All right, I know I've talked a lot already, but it's starting to feel like we're getting closer to more of a normal year, which is nice. You know, I actually have some stuff to say in my notes that aren't tied to the response to COVID-19, which is it feels good actually. You know, we had the boys basketball team made a heck of a run. They were in the sectional finals, and really, even at that game, they had a great season and a great. The last game was a lot of fun as well, and even put me in a position to start thinking, oh boy, do we have to cancel school or not? How many tickets is WI going to give us or not? But anyway, I thought the boys did a really nice job this year playing basketball, and ended up losing in the finals, but played a good game at the last game in Edgar. Then the girls basketball team made it to the first round of sectionals, ended up losing in the first round, but they had a great season as well. And then the wrestling team, they ended up qualifying one down to the state tournament. Tyler Sunday ended up taking fifth, which is fantastic. I mean, I really, having a wrestling background, I wasn't sure if there was going to be a wrestling season this year with everything that was being communicated to us, and ended up being a good season. And Tyler made the podium and took home a medal, a fifth place medal as a freshman, which is pretty impressive. So. Congratulations to all three of those teams. And then, like I said earlier, the concerts were able to put on 2 concerts. So our tentative plan is March 16th. We're doing the junior high concert. Is going to be at 6 o'clock. We're going to have that concert, then ask everyone to leave, and then have the senior high concert following at 7 o'clock. So. Nice to have some concerts in the mix too. We were just starting, like I said, we were able to get them at the end of the basketball season. We were able to have a band in the gym playing, and it really made it feel like a normal year again to have the band. It was just a weird feeling without the band in the gym when you have sports going on and you don't have the kids playing in the background. Our band does a really nice job filling the gym with noise, and it sounds good. So those are the kind of the main things that I wanted to touch on, and everything else we're still working on planning. Like I said, prom, the FFA banquet, and then Earth Day. So
Good stuff. All right, so the next item of business is our contemplated closed session. So thank you to all of our visitors for coming and joining us tonight.
thank you guys. Appreciate you guys coming in.
WSS 19.85, paragraph 1B, considering dismissal, promotion, licensing, or discipline of any public employee or person licensed by a board or commission, or the investigation of charges against such person, or considering the grant or denial of tenure for a public faculty member, and the taking of formal action on any such matter, provided that the faculty member or other public employee or person licensed is given actual notice of any evidentiary hearing which may be held prior to final action being taken, and of any meeting at which final action may be taken, in accordance also to WSS paragraph 19.85 1C, considering employment compensation or performance data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. Tonight we'll be visiting about review of an employee performance, 2 of them, and review of summer school compensation. So I'll pull the board. Eddie?
Yes.
Skip?
Yep.
Brian?
Yes.
Christie?
Yep.
Myself, yes. We are in closed session. I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve the 2021 summer school ERS fund stipends for people working.
For summer school. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the creation of the ESSER stipends for summer school. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. I will entertain another motion.
Move to
Oh,
adjourn.
wait, sorry.
Future agenda?
Yeah, future agenda items, I'm sorry. Anybody have anything they want to put on agenda?
Oh, we'll just have the approval of the Canvas committee for sure will be on there. That's about it.
All right, then I will entertain another motion.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
So properly moved and seconded, that we approve, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes, we are adjourned.